You ever think, why did Kamala Harris choose Tim Walz over Josh Shapiro to be her running mate in 2024? She claimed back then that she was, quote, sleep deprived after suffering from insomnia the day Walz was picked over Pennsylvania governor, very popular governor, by the way, Josh Shapiro, which feels like a fancy way of saying, I didn't want to anger my pro-Hamas supporters by picking the Jewish guy. All you have to do is look at those who helped vet this guy, the lover of China, went to his honeymoon in China, lover of communism and tampons in boys' rooms. Look back, it's Barack Obama's lackey, Eric Holder.
Did you and your team of lawyers miss important information about him during the vetting process?
No, I don't think we did. I mean, I don't think that we were surprised by any of the things that he has said. And as what he has indicated is that sometimes he misspoke, but he is, unlike Donald Trump, who lies like all the time. Tim Walz has made some misstatements that he has said, you know, I was wrong in saying that, apologize for making the misstatements. And so there's nothing that of any substance that was missed by our vetting team.
Misstatements, $9 billion. You want to rethink that answer, former Attorney General of the United States? Well, any regrets now, Cammie? Maybe don't make important life decisions on 0 hours sleep. Folks, Tim Walz is piping mad that his business venture has been corrupted by the people seeking truth and justice on behalf of the American people. His Royal Majesty, the King of Tampons, just isn't having it.
We've got Republicans here in the state legislature playing hide and seek with potential whistleblowers. We've got conspiracy theorist right-wing YouTubers breaking into our daycares, demanding access to our children. We've got the President of the United States demonizing our Somali neighbors and wrongfully confiscating funds that Minnesotans rely on. It's disgusting and it's dangerous. Republicans are playing politics with the future of this state. It's shameful.
It's shameful? Like robbing taxpayers of $9 billion? Shameful? Like that? The guy couldn't even muster answering any questions from the press, even though his team promised they would. It's that bad. You see, I don't think we really understand the gravity of what just happened. This isn't just a corrupt governor stepping down. Well, not really stepping down so far. We're asking him. We're demanding he steps down. He just said, I'm not going to run for re-election so far. But it's definitely a large part of the story. Tim Walz was the number 2 of the Democrat Party just over a year ago. That's the guy they picked to be the next vice president of America. That's the guy they picked as the future of the Democrat Party. That's how big the scandal is. They held a meeting. They said, get out as fast as you can, alleviate this massive crisis. If they didn't think there was a massive thing here, they wouldn't have made this move. It's that big. Just over a year ago, in March of 2025, Tim Walz, well, not quite a year ago, was actually considering running for president in 2028. He actually said he was exploring the thought of may run for president in 2028. I think they needed a fall guy for what's turning into one of the biggest scandals in Democrat history. And why not take out the bumbling socialists from the North? But it just means that it's so much bigger and deeper a scandal than we could even possibly understand. Like Sir Naps-a-Lot, making sure that funding for those childcare centers ran into no issues at all, using taxpayer dollars to make sure the fraud remained well-oiled, a well-oiled machine. Sounds oh so very Democrat, socialist, doesn't it? So does blaming the easy targets instead of admitting any part of the true story.
We've got conspiracy theorist right-wing YouTubers breaking into our daycares, demanding access to our children. We've got the President of the United States demonizing our Somali neighbors and wrongfully confiscating funds that Minnesotans rely on. It's disgusting and it's dangerous.
Let me correct you a little bit. Right-wing YouTubers, okay. Nick Shirley didn't break into any daycare centers. He asked to see the children, which, by the way, you said broke in demanding to see the children. There were no children. He didn't see any kids. He saw one kid. Devastated to be exposed. Is it swinging at the usual suspects? Nick Shirley's fault, not yours, Timmy. But those people he mentions, those are patriots and the true defenders and protectors of the interests of all of us, American tax-paying people. The kind of people Democrats hate with a passion because they stand in the way of their corruption and bend the knee to the worst kind of people who live on our soil and suck this country dry, all in the name of, not Allah, future votes. And all you have to do is look at who's saying these incredibly nice things about the guy who oversaw mass fraud, and it tells you such a large part of the story. From comrade and fellow fraudster in arms, Gavin Newsom, the Tin Man without a heart, I'm quoting, this is Newsom. Tim Walz is a man of character, strength, and compassion. He has served Minnesota with heart and dignity. Minnesota and America is better off thanks to his lifelong public service. Whew, is Minnesota better off? Gavin, draconian COVID measures, widespread corruption. He actually said he heard the 2020 rioters burning down the streets and businesses, but did nothing about it. Remember that? Gav, a Sharia-loving new state flag. Really? Better off, Minnesota? Well, if these were my friends, I'd rethink my life. And if these were my friends, I'd be happy to have no friends at all. He can step away from running again, but Tim Walz needs to be held accountable now. You're telling me that in 2024, as governor, Walz announced that Minnesota would be paying a huge subsidy to childcare facilities using taxpayer dollars, and by sheer coincidence, enormous sums of taxpayer dollars flowed to outright scam childcare facilities, $9 billion worth, run by American Somalis, a reliably Democrat voting bloc that ensured Walz's 2022 reelection. Well, Timmy Walz doesn't seem to love his coincidences. Why did Kamala Harris choose Tim Walz anyway? Why did Joe Biden work so hard to fund these daycare centers? What did Tim know? And when I hear the DOJ is upping the ante in the investigation of tampon Timmy Walz, and that's good because this can't be yet another thing these people get away with. By the way, just stop for a second here. I want to tell you something. It's not just Minnesota. That $9 billion, when they can't afford child care centers or child health care or elderly care, they're going to march right to D.C. and demand you and I, taxpayers, U.S. taxpayers, IRS tax-paying Americans, fund their unbelievable deficit that they can't make up. It's going to be on us. You know it will. That's why I'm so pissed off at this guy. Throw him in jail now. Investigate him, try him, find him guilty, and toss that SOB behind bars. 2.5 minutes. We'll be back.